people will be like, girl, them girls on Instagram, they charging blah, 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 blah for something. And you be like, oh, wow, that's a lot. And they got all these rules. And you got to put down a 50% deposit. And your hair got to be washed. But they don't care. They said, you like what you see on this Instagram page.
Come with your face done. Because I'm going to take pictures after.
Exactly. You know, and they require all of these things. And you want to be popular. So you're going to go to that girl's face.
Correct. You want to be on the page.
Right. I have heard people in various industries, not just in hair, but they have heard people complain about not seeing themselves on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that goes right back to the it girl era that we're in. Yeah. Everybody wants to be the it girl. Ladies, how are you?
Good.
How you feeling?
We here.
How about you?
We here. We tired, but we here.
Yes.
You know,
very tired.
But what was the weekend like for you all?
A lot of work, and then I snuck in to go see Erykah Badu and Charlie Wilson.
Nice.
We have this thing down here called Jazz in the Gardens. Y'all heard about it. Y'all heard about it.
Love Jazz in the Gardens.
And while at work, somebody was like, hey, I got a ticket. But let me tell you just how busy I am, right? This one here, if she gets a chance, had an event. And I was like, I sent our group a message like, does anyone want a ticket to go see? And she's like, Sasha.
I'm like, girl.
You smiley face. I'm having an event.
Terrible. I cannot.
That was so terrible. I was like, there was a reason why I was trying to get out of here early today.
That's hilarious.
But that's a long story as to why I didn't actually leave the salon until after 7:00. But worked and then got a chance to go see a little bit of Erykah, a little bit of Charlie Wilson.
Nice.
But you know, I made sure I got me some conch salad.
Oh yeah.
How was the line?
The line was actually good because I was there because, you know, I like snuck in at the right time.
Okay.
So I didn't have to stand because last year when I went, the line was like 2 hours.
It's ridiculous.
They got to do better. But this year, I think it was just my timing. I got in just at the right time and, you know, got the usual good, you know, concert/fair food.
Nice.
And all of that. So it was good. That conch salad was fire.
I love it.
How about you?
Well, I did have an event.
Sorry. No, she trying to keep a secret.
Sasha was at Jazz in the Gardens. I'm just kidding. No, but I just had a small, intimate celebration. You know, you guys know we've talked about it in the other episodes. Just me relocating. So I was very blessed, very happy. Thank you for everyone who came out and to, you know, just show support. I appreciate it. I'm a little tired, but we here. We gonna make it do what it do. So yeah, it was a good weekend. It was a really good weekend. Chrissy?
Same for me. I had a busy weekend. I worked pretty much long hours all week. And then I went and helped Angelina with her event. And I kind of snuck in the office and slept for about 2 hours during the event.
Yes.
So
she like totally disappeared. I'm like, where's everybody's like, where's Chris? I'm like, she's napping.
Yeah, you know. But I was there for moral support. I helped set up. You know, I did what I came to do. I waited until a good amount of guests were there, showed my face, and then, you know, I just
dipped off.
I just
she went in. She was
side.
Out. She was out.
Yeah, her brother bust open the office door. Crystal, this where you at? I said. Then he comes out. Everybody, Crystal's in here sleeping. I was like, wow. I guess I gotta come out now.
Put it all out there.
Yeah.
You had to come out at that point. So that's why you came out.
That is
I thought
why
you were
I came
actually
out.
ready to come out.
No.
Okay, gotcha. Good to know. Guys, I got some.
But
great,
we love you and we're very proud.
As you see, I got a great circle here, guys.
Yes.
But I did think to invite them to come to the event. I was like, hey, guys.
That's
I got an extra ticket. You want to come?
Listen, it's okay. It's all good. I'll take it. It's all good. And listen, you know what? It's Women's Month, so
yes,
we're gonna let it be what it is.
Yes,
I appreciate it. I appreciate the love, y'all.
Yes.
So it is Women's Month.
Yay.
This is just. I mean, I feel like every month should be Women's Month, honestly. But
absolutely,
this is a time where we can really look into, acknowledge, some of the influential people in our society and for us personally. So we picked out a few. There's so many. I mean, we could go on for days here, but just a few that we want to share. I'm sure that you all already know, but if you don't know, you can look into and discover a little bit more about them. Sasha, you want to get started with your lovely lady?
Okay, so I'm going to let y'all guess who it is, and I'm going to say one of her most famous quotes. When someone is cruel or acts like a bully, you don't stoop to their level. No, our memo is when they go low, we go high. So y'all already know it. That is Michelle Obama from Chicago, Illinois. She's an Ivy League educated and trained lawyer, but she became our forever first lady. Her style, her grace, just her intelligence, it just illuminates in everything that she does. I was blessed to have an opportunity when she put out her very first book. She did like a tour. And so I took my mom to go see her for that one. And it was just, you know what I'm saying? Like the energy in the room was just fantastic. And, you know, not even beyond her education or where she comes from or all that other stuff, she has just really kept going higher and kept illuminating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, oh, she strives for something and she's amazing in that way. She just illuminates in a way in which we can follow her steps. Because some people make it to the top and there's no, how do you get there? You know what I'm saying? And she's done something that it's probably once in a lifetime. We may never see that again.
Correct. Very true.
See a Black first lady. But man, she's just phenomenal. And, you know, yay, happy Women's Month.
Yeah, I love that. All right. Well, you know, we love us some Auntie Michelle. And, you know, she's so graceful. Everything she does, just
she's
with
so
grace.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful woman. So I'm going to share with you all a little bit about Angela Davis. As you all know, if you don't know already, Angela Davis is my auntie. I'm just saying. But she's a political activist. She's an author. She is a professor at the University of California. Angela Davis was also a part of the Black Panther Party. She's one of those women who, you know, if you don't know much about that movement in that time, she played a major role in just making sure that there was equality. And she still is till this day. She's still doing a lot within the community and a great educator. So I love me some Angela Davis. At some point, way back in the heyday, I did want a little fro. But then when I have natural hair, I look like a 12-year-old. So I realized it was not going to work for me. But Angela Davis, we love you. Salute to you.
Salute. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about our lovely, beautiful, epic lady, Angela Bassett.
Auntie.
You know, we love you, 2 aunties.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just such a graceful lady.
Yes, she is.
And you know, the Oscars just passed. And you know, she's always so beautiful, so elegant. And I just want to say that even though she has won so many accolades already, we really were, you know, we all were rooting for her, hoping she was gonna win best. Was it supporting actress? Yes, best supporting actress. Unfortunately, she did not win, but we give you that award. You deserve it. For the role that she played in Wakanda Forever, in all the roles she's played, because she's won other awards for roles that she's played. But to me, like Wakanda Forever, it was just such a big deal, such a big historical moment for us as Black people, because the depiction of what it would look like of, you know, doing a homegoing for, you know, a loved one that passes away. It was just so beautiful. And she showed so much strength, so much grace. I really didn't think she was, I don't know, I feel like everybody should have watched the movie already, right? Yeah. I really didn't think she was going to pass away. I shed a tear. It was one of the tears that I shed in the movie, but
One of 2.
Yeah, it was just so beautiful. And yeah, I just want us to continue to celebrate Black women. You know, she has many awards. She's gone to school. She's done her best. She's done what she needs to do. And are we going to give her the Emmy? She's 63. And she's still kicking. 64, yeah, she's still kicking it. She still looks better than some women who are 20.
Amazing.
Like, after watching her, I was like, I need to go to the gym more than 5 times a week. I need to get up and get out there.
And when I tell you, somebody who studies their craft, I mean, every single role she's played, from Tina Turner to, you know, I mean,
She's
Rosa
done it on
Parks.
Rosa
Yeah,
Parks.
Rosa Parks.
What's Love Got to Do with
yes.
It? What was her character? And I don't remember.
That was Tina.
It was Tina?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
okay.
Tina
Yeah,
Turner.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
her role that we all love is when she burnt that car down.
Yeah.
And
And
wait
wait
till
till
it's
exhale,
hell.
honey.
Okay.
Yes.
She like, I'm overusing Illuminated, but she like pulled that character out of that book
Yes.
from Terry McMillan and just like brought it to life.
Yeah,
in a
she
way
did.
that is just, like you said, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And with her, you know, she's one of those people where whether she went to Yale or she came straight off the street, I feel like Angela Davis would have been at this level of just like absolute amazing performances. Because
Yeah.
I just feel like acting is just in her.
Yes. You're absolutely right. I definitely agree with you.
Bassett. You said Davis Bassett.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Angela Bassett. I'm
Yes,
sorry. We didn't
yes.
said
It's
Davis.
more than
on-
one Angela.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're all amazing. But
Yes.
They are.
yeah.
Well, yeah, we wanted to just share that tidbit. And I think it's always great to continue to, educate yourself.
Yes.
And learn more about, your culture. And just people in general, not just our culture, just always learning and growing. So that is really, really great. Ladies, today's topic is old school versus new school. In our industry, who old school you? Are you trying to figure out? Oh,
okay. No, I'm just.
No, we ain't old
How
school.
much time we got for this conversation?
In our industry, we talk about it all the times behind the scenes, how much things have changed.
Yes.
And they're continuously changing. When we started over a decade ago, the ways that we communicated with clients, the ways we provided different services, their access to us, all of that has changed over the years. Some for the good, and honestly, in my opinion, some for the not so good.
The in between.
Okay. And one of the first things I wanted to talk about is the access to your stylist. Back in the days, you would have your business line or at the salon, whether you rented a chair or if it was your own salon space, your client or whoever, you give them a business card, they contact you through that avenue.
You wanted to give people your phone number back
Right.
then.
Not anymore.
Nowadays, listen,
God.
there's the email, there's and now you could call people through like Instagram and stuff. Like if they can't get you immediately, like right when they want you,
It's
they
a
have
problem.
other ways to access you. How do we balance that? And how do we, of course, set the boundary?
Which is what I was going to say. I think the first part of that is setting a boundary. And, we talked about that a couple episodes ago, setting boundaries. And boundaries are there for every aspect of your life.
Correct.
And they need to be set. Case in point, I think, giving an example is the best way. So a new client called the salon the other day and she wanted to get her hair done. We did not have any space. I literally, because you guys know I do micro locks, and sometimes I have clients that I'm doing one client for 2-3 days. So of course my client told me she was going to be a little later. So of course one of the other young ladies, they were like, "Oh, Crystal, you could just fit her in." And I was like, "No, I don't want to fit her in because I know the day ahead that I'm going to have. I don't want to put myself, stress myself out, yada, yada, yada." Long story short, she gave the whole spiel. The whole spiel, she had a big event coming up. She needed to get her hair done. She was going to be traveling, the whole enchilada. So, of course,
You fall for it.
I buckled. And the reason that I know it wasn't going to be good is because you could just tell. Normally, when these things happen, the end result is not going to be good. Now, of course, while I'm doing her hair, she's telling me how her previous stylist normally do it, everything. And I'm like, okay. But that's not how I do it. I'm going to do it how I do it. This is something that I know how to do. She proceeded to tell me that her stylist, has been doing hair for 20 years and she likes how she does it. And I said,
then why didn't you go to that I'm sorry.
and then I said, "No problem, ma'am. I fully understand. But you've shown me the picture. I've seen what you want me, the look you're trying to achieve.
Right.
You'll be able to get that."
Right.
I asked her every question. I did a consultation before I started her hair. The typical, we're taking in a new client. And mind you, I haven't taken a new client for a year and a half.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't even know you were taking new clients.
But once again, guys, I felt sorry. So I was like, let me readjust my schedule. Anyways, she loved it. And then she wanted to book with me again. I had to explain to her that the only reason she was able to see me today is because I had a little free time. And she's like, oh my gosh, nobody's ever done my hair like this. Da, 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 da. So I said, we can book another appointment for you, but it won't be with me. It will be with one of the other stylists. Are you okay with that? She said yes. And she left. Do you know that she did it again? She did not book an appointment like I told her she should have. But she called 3 weeks later, got Sasha on the phone and wanted to come in that same week. Wow. And do you know what she said when Sasha told her, oh no, I'm sorry, we can't take you? Oh, but they did that for me the last time.
And I told her, I am the wrong person.
Well,
I am the wrong person. I am the wrong person. Let me let Crystal finish her story.
So I wanted to give all of that backstory because we teach people how to treat us.
Yes.
And that even goes with a hairstylist, client, customer relationship. If every time she's calling at the moment of to get her hair done, it's always going to be her expectation that we should be there for her to do that.
Yes.
Even though throughout the whole visit, I advised her, we get booked 2 to 3 weeks in advance. Some stylists are a month booked. Some stylists are 2 months booked. So if you know you need to come back and get your hair done, book your appointment.
Correct.
So when she was leaving and she didn't book her appointment, I was like, oh, we're not going to see her again.
Right.
But that was not the case.
Yeah.
She did come back.
So something that I'm realizing is the old school way has almost fed the new school way.
Yes.
And the reason why is, I can say this for South Florida. I cannot say this for all hairstylists all over because I've seen in places like Atlanta, DC, it's a little bit better. I would have to say that in South Florida, there is a overall lack of respect. And people don't have to like me when I say that about stylists in general.
Yeah.
We feel like your time is not valuable. And I can give an example of a long-term client that I have. She makes it a habit to not make an appointment. And she will call me at the last minute and we have a relationship. And there's a point where you start to feel like you don't respect my time. Because I don't have Chick nor Chad, it means I have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so what you're saying is my time is not as valuable as yours because you got Chick, you got Chad, you got business, you got this. So I should be here at 7:30 in the morning to do your hair. Or I should be here at 9 o'clock at night to do your hair because I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that I have to do. So I should always be there. And it's just like, it's at first, a favor is always good done once or twice.
Yes.
But when it's always a favor, it's no longer a favor.
Correct.
It is a boundary that has been crossed.
Yes.
And because when you love your clients and you want them to look beautiful and you want to have a good relationship with them, you don't want boundaries to be crossed.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And it's just like we have talked about relationships, I just have found, like, going back to my original point is those types of habits and those types of like, oh, I can make an appointment anytime I want to type of attitude is why now you have girls who have nobody's license, none, who will not wash your hair, but will tell you basically to come to their salon suite, which you find out is just their house. Right? Because they find that they can't afford to keep up a salon suite. And we can talk about
Sasha,
that.
girl, you jumping the gun, girl.
I know,
slow down.
Right? But you have these young ladies
spicy.
you have these young ladies who are like, no, come with your hair already combed out, washed, greased, and braided.
But you know what, though? I understand why they started doing those things.
Yes,
I totally get it. But I think they have surpassed the mark now. Like, let's reel it back.
And then they have all these rules. You go to their page and there's rule after rule after rule. They want half their money up front. Yeah. It's because they have been disrespected. Correct. Or they got an auntie who was a hairstylist and they saw their auntie work Saturday all day and still have somebody who wants to sneak in. And then I get frustrated. I was over here looking at Essence where people complain about how they're at a salon all day. But how many times have you called a stylist at the last minute?
Correct. But you're not thinking about that in the moment.
You're not thinking about that.
They're not thinking about that in the moment.
You're not thinking about it. I have been in this industry for over a decade, and even before then, as a customer, we have seen it over and over again. If you are guilty of consistently asking the stylist to come take you at the last minute, to come early, stay late, don't complain about being there all day.
Correct.
They're the reason why you're at a salon all day.
Reason why they're there
is
all
because
day.
there's somebody asking at the last minute to get their hair done, and they are putting the weight of the relationship they have with that stylist on the line so that they can get their hair done at the last minute. That's the
Right.
reason why you're at the salon all day. We go out of our way to book appointments. And I know you do the same thing with your business to book appointments. And it feels like pulling teeth sometimes with people to be like, no, I booked an appointment.
Right.
I don't have an appointment for you. Oh, now clients don't say fit me in, but they're like, oh, you don't have anything? Because they know we're kind of like,
Yeah.
Like
we get calls, do you guys take walk-ins? And I like that question. Like, I feel like you're going to be more receptive to what my response is going to be because we've trained you now to understand you can't get a last appointment at Epic Hair Studio. You can call and ask if we have any availability. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody canceled.
Correct.
But we had to set that up. It wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
And, that was a client that has been there before. And, maybe for whatever reason, they didn't get to book. So something came up quickly and they needed to get in. But I feel like the customer stylist relationship is all out of whack right now.
Right.
yeah.
Because of the new school stylists. And I know that these new school stylists are setting all these things in motion because of the old school stylists.
Yeah.
Like old school stylists, we were too accessible.
Yeah.
These new girls, no.
Yeah, when I see no
not-
DMs, they're like, don't be
No.
hitting me up and expecting a response.
No.
You can't. The fact that you have people who will call you, DM you, and then email you, and then tell you that they hit you up, and my hand's in somebody's head,
And leave a
I'm not
comment.
answering any
Yes.
of those.
Under
Yeah.
the comments,
Well-
can I get my hair done?
Well, there's a
You
former-
guys haven't answered me yet.
Yeah.
You just sent a message today.
So there's a former stylist. He was a celebrity stylist. I guess he's retired now, but I follow his page, and he kind of made this mention about how in today's society everyone thinks they're the it girl.
Yes.
Yes.
So because we're moving in a space where now everyone is, because of the platforms, the social medias, everyone feels like they don't need to wait for anything. It should be, I should have access to you at any point in time.
Because I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah, I'm doing you a favor. And God forbid you got, a good amount of followers. Oh, Lord Jesus. Like it can be very demanding. I think what a lot of times the customer doesn't understand is you helping me, I'm helping you. When you walk into the salon and you see 5, 6, 7 people waiting before you can sit in my seat, that is not only building in a space of anxiety for me as a stylist,
Right.
but for you could have been doing something else with your time.
Right.
That's why it is important to make the appointment. You do it when you're going to the doctor. You do it when you're going to the dentist. In any other professional realm, 9 times out of 10, in order to get access to get whatever service you need to make an appointment. Why is it that we can't get the same level of respect?
Because they don't think it's as important, even though time is important.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And like I've said in previous, adult relationships are reciprocal. And that's on everything, not just intimate relationships. Somebody needs to be reminded that in the comment section. Thank you. But in everything,
Woo-woo.
it's reciprocal. I am giving you a service. You are giving me my money.
That's
we
right.
are both using time.
Yes.
Correct.
Right? If it takes me 3 hours to do something, your doctor, who you might see for 5 minutes,
Yes.
is going to charge you probably 3 times, or your insurance,
correct.
3 times what I'm going to charge you for 5 minutes, right?
Yep.
Because of the value of his time. I am asking you because you value my time that I'm setting an appointment. Then you won't have to complain about girl here, there, and the third and what their requirements are, because you have a strong adult reciprocal relationship with your stylist. You won't ever have to worry. Yes, life happens, but not everybody had a family member that died. Not everyone's dog needed to go to the vet. Like everybody, and that's what will
Lord.
happen if you take a clip of this and put it on the internet about this conversation. Will people be having no. We know the
extreme
people.
situations are not everyday though.
Correct.
For everyone. That's what we need to understand.
So with that, you guys, let's get into now the customer service experience. I know we both in our salons, we pride ourselves in giving an experience to our customers, not just coming in and sitting and doing your hair.
Right.
Now, with that being said, though, before you could even come and sit in the chair, now with the new school, there is, like we spoke of before, a list of rules and regulations. And I mean, the list gets long.
It's like
and the
2
list
pages.
can be, I mean, sometimes I'm reading it and it feels aggressive almost. You know, like you feel like, yo, I'm afraid to even go in here to get this service done. And I've had clients come in who have experienced that, you know, and they'll tell you, you know, I walk into this space, she's already like, do you have this? Did you do this? Did you wash your hair already? So now you're going down the list of these things. How is it that we got this far off? I could understand there being shifts and changes being made, but how is it that we got to the point where now you're literally you're basically telling that customer to do half of your job?
I don't even know how you build a relationship, but I guess there is no desire to.
Correct. There's no desire for them to build a relationship.
If
Everybody is a number.
Right. And if you're after the bag, you're not after a relationship.
Correct.
I mean, I want to make money, but I still want to have a long-standing relationship.
Then how long are you going to keep getting the bag then? Because if you don't have a returning clientele, we all know this, we've all learned this, those are the people that you can guarantee every 2 weeks, every month, or whatever is going to book. But if you're experiencing something where it's a revolving door, long term, what is your business going to look like?
I feel like they work under trends, right? And I'm going to say that to break it down. Like right now, there's boho braids that's out. So if you notice, there's a lot of stylists who only do boho braids.
Only.
And then there are stylists who only do micro links because we've niched our market so very well, which I totally get, right?
Yeah.
But in their minds, there's always going to be somebody new who wants to get the service done, which is true. So they're more focused on getting people in. It's up to the client whether they want to stay and deal with what it is that they're offering or not. And they're like, oh, I got 5 people in my DMs right now that want to come in. They're going to fly to me. So I don't care if this person is going to come back to me or not, because there's always going to be somebody else that's coming in. When another trend comes out, they're going to learn that new trend and they're going to start offering that new trend. So it just keeps... It's like a cycle that keeps repeating over and... Well, to me, that's what I see. Like here I'm doing these certain set of styles, right? And I can either take away or I can add because I want to be able to offer multiple services to someone that comes in the door. That's my philosophy.
So with those trends now, because you made a good point with that. Now, how important is it to even be licensed at this point if we're just doing things that are trendy?
That has been so frustrating to see. And it's what's frustrating about it is Black women have led this march toward de-licensing because people who want to be braiders shouldn't have to go to hair school.
Absolutely.
But then we have...
They should go take a class.
Right. You should at least have to take 16 hours. You should at least have to do sanitation. You should at least be connected to the state.
They don't need to do sanitation because they're not washing nobody hair.
Right. But this is what happens is we end up with the clients. We end up with the clients who are missing hair.
Yes.
Hair missing here, hair missing there. You've been going to every trend. When people start naming stylists and the number goes beyond 3 or 4, I'm already knowing that their hair is a hot mess. And yes, at least people stop having relaxers and then dumping a whole glue-in wig on top of it and all that. Because I was like, you burnt your hair, burnt your scalp, and then you turn around and suffocated it at the same time. We've at least fixed one problem with that, right? I mean, did I say something wrong?
No, that's
you know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, Crystal, you done said a lot. Because I mean, like, you done said a lot. So you have all these people who are, because I feel like I want to address the niching thing. Because niching to me, or niching or whatever, it only works in a salon environment. Versus in a suite environment, because then you offer the client options to go to different people. Versus now I gotta hunt down that stylist, I gotta hunt down that stylist because if I want this. But if you're in one salon and there's one girl who does micro links and there's one girl who does braids and there's another person who does this, and while I'm at the salon my daughter's hair can get done because there's a girl who specializes in this. That's called convenience. What has now happened with New School is New School has become convenient for the stylist because they have probably seen aunties, uncles, whoever, with their whole life has been convenient based on the client. And it's not profitable from a time perspective and from like just a money perspective.
Right.
It hasn't been profitable. So they have decided to completely flip the model, but I don't think that it's good for the client.
Right.
I also don't think in the long run it's good for the stylist. But I was making the point about de-licensing based on braiders. And I was like, our whole industry as Black stylists, I'm gonna say Black stylists, should not be based on braids.
Yeah.
Now we have people who don't have a license who are basically borderline doing what a licensed stylist should be. There's this girl who's on there who's like, oh, people are complaining about, they only go to hairstylists. And then all her pictures were of braids. Girl, if you're not doing cuts and color, if you're not doing a relaxer or anything,
You're a
not a
braider.
hairstylist, you're
Correct.
a braider. Stop. And that's my whole thing. Like, there is a distinctive line between someone who can go in and I can explain the difference between a 7 and a 10. If you don't know what that means, you're not a hairstylist. Don't think I'm being rude, but you're not a hairstylist. Do you know the difference between when I say banana yellow and how you get to platinum? If you don't even know what I'm talking about, you're not a hairstylist. You are a braider, and now you're a braider who knows how to put ponytails or you know how to put a wig on top of it, right? You know how to curl hair. Okay, I know how to curl hair. That's one of my favorite things to do. Get me a 1.5 inch and let me give you the little Farrah Fawcett curls. We know how to do that. But I care more about what's going to happen before I get to the Farrah Fawcett curls. Right? I want to know that you're going to have beautiful hair underneath
hair.
all of that. 'Cause-
Absolutely.
And we as Black stylists, we get the gamut. We can have somebody walk in and say they want platinum hair, and then I can turn around and have somebody who says, I just want some flat twists.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but I think we end up getting limited because we're niching too much. I think we have niched to an extreme.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And then, well, on top of that, we haven't gotten into the sweets, but then we're now dividing ourselves. So it's no opportunity to cultivate ingenuity or innovation in anything because you're waiting to find out what somebody is doing on the internet.
I was going to say, so I think what people are doing now, so instead of, like you said, having that salon environment, they're just going to scroll and like Crystal said, see what's trending, or scroll or go on YouTube and see what new trick or trade they can learn, because education is so important, you guys. And it's not just that one going to cosmetology school one time, continuing education, trying to learn, whatever your craft is, whether it be hair, whether it be photography, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're always, for yourself and for your business, on top of your game, right? So it's hard for me to understand this new wave of people I feel like it's almost like, respectfully, it's a cop-out. Like, you're trying to take like the easy way out, and there's no, if you want longevity, there's no way to go around it. Right. You got to do the back end work. A lot of the times, if you are looking at a stylist, and don't get me wrong, you guys are super talented.
Oh, absolutely.
Very, very
Nobody's
talented. I'm not
away
taking
from
that
their
away
craft.
from you.
They're
But
MacGyvers.
but I just want to make sure that we're thinking about long term. You know, when I was younger, I probably didn't do a lot of the things I should have done earlier on in my business like I should have, because I would have been much further along. And so if you're coming up now and you're in a space where, social media, it's a beast, but it could be a big blessing too. So if you're not trying to find balance in all of it, it could really hold you back. Where you going to be 10 years from now? Because this ain't going to be like this forever. There's going to be another wave.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you going to do then? So
They'll be out now. Then they'll be going to nursing school.
Ooh,
Wow.
child.
Savagery.
It's heavy over here, Lord Jesus.
How many times have y'all heard that? Oh, I'm doing hair, but I'm really going to nursing school. And it's just like,
that's pretty common.
But then
That's-
I think it's just
like, love it. If you don't love it, why are
Yeah,
you
the passion, there's no
dragging
passion
the
behind
rest
it.
of the industry down
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah.
If you
There's no
don't
passion.
love it.
Yeah.
I would
Don't-
consider us to be in between the old school and the new school.
Mhm.
Like, my aunt is an old school hairstylist. She did hair for over 20 years. And, we're talking about customer service, right? A lot of times, she'll come to the salon and she'll be like, you guys are too loud. You guys are talking too much. You guys you're not moving fast enough. Crystal, you've been doing this same lady here? Why you not done yet? You know why you're not done yet? Because you're talking too much. Like, for her, it's customer service all the way. From the moment they come in, hi, hello, how you getting your hair done today? You have a nice little conversation, but you're not talking for too long. That's an old school setup, right? Whereas I find that we work well in between. So yes, I'm going to talk to you chitty chatty and, ask
I'm
you
gonna
how
talk to you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, you guys know I don't talk that much. But if conversation is brought up, I will engage in a little bit, which that's what I'm saying. I feel like I have a good balance.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be talking to you the whole visit, but we're going to talk here and there because I want to make sure you're enjoying your time. If you have any concerns, I'm hoping that I've created an environment where you can feel comfortable to ask me anything that you need to ask me during the service.
Correct.
And that's what I always try to explain to her, like, we got to talk a little.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're talking too much. Cut it down.
She talking about me.
Well, I think it also too can just depend on your relationship, the relationship that you've built over time with that particular client. Because I'll tell you, there's some clients who come into the salon and I can tell they just want total silence. We'll watch a movie. We won't chat much. They'll get their service and they'll go home. And then there's other clients like even on the way over, they're like, Angel, I can't wait to see you.
Right.
I got so much to tell you. So at that point, you already know you're going to be there and you're going to be having conversation.
Right.
You guys are going to be chit-chatting away. It all depends. But again, I think it's because we're more interested in building that long-term relationship too. So you're able to navigate all different types of personalities. It means more to me to have returning clients
Absolutely.
than to continuously see new faces and never see those people again. Because then I'm questioning my work. I'm questioning the experience they had with me. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I said something, maybe I did something. It's just really different now.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's what I
really,
think
really different.
But I also think, to bring up another point, I think that's also what affects the price points. People will be like, girl, them girls on Instagram, they charging blah, 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 blah for something. And you be like, oh, wow, that's a lot. And they got all these rules and you got to put down a 50% deposit and your hair got to be washed. But they don't care. They said, you like what you see on this Instagram page.
Come with your face done because I'm going to take pictures after.
Exactly. And they require all of these things and you want to be popular. So you're going to go to that girl's face.
Correct. You want to be on the page.
Right. I have heard people in various industries, not just in hair, but they have heard people complain about not seeing themselves on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
Again,
is
that goes right back to the it girl era that we're in.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be the it girl. Everybody wants to be like, oh, look at me. And it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool. But at the same time, I might be so busy, I don't get a chance to record you. I might be so busy, I don't get a chance to like spin you around and do all that cute stuff.
Right.
Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Right.
Don't take it personal. It's not that I don't want you on my page. It's just your girl's busy, But again, because of all of those things, and then you're dealing with, like you said, the younger girls who are telling you to come with your face beat. So it gets tricky.
Yeah.
It definitely gets tricky for sure. I don't know if there's going to be a shift anytime soon. I think it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets any better.
I hope not.
But think about it, Chris, because even with the salon suites, right? Sasha, we were talking about it before we started to shoot. What I think you guys were trying to talk about the percentage of that?
Yes. So we just went to I've been telling everybody I went to a salon boot camp for salons because honestly, that's what it felt like. But it wasn't what I expected, but it surpassed my expectations.
That's good.
And I just want to commend that company because so many times in our industry, we feel like there's nobody that we can turn to. And they have opened an avenue to make everybody successful in our industry. If you're not already on that path, the name of the company is called Inspiring Champions. So if anybody's in our industry and you're looking for help with your business, they emotionally support you. They, tell you how to become profitable. It's just a lot. We'll talk about that at another time. But just to go back to some of the numbers that they left with us is how many people are going from salons to suites and actually being successful. And that's between 8 to 12%.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 80% of the industry is going into suites, but only 8 to 12 of them are successful, that's a very low number. And what that speaks to is not every man can stand by themselves.
And not everyone should.
Especially if you don't have the means and the tools to do it.
Correct.
I think that there ends up being an overall lack of innovation, and I think it becomes important to have some level of accountability, right? Now you hear people come in and they talk about they had some girl in the suite. The girl didn't give them the address, right? They knew generally where it was. Like, you just think about, you hear these horror stories and it's like, oh, well, that person's not in an established salon. There's nobody to keep her accountable. And yes, if she had a booth, no one technically can, but she over there watching A and B do well. I'm going to show up to work. Right? There's no competition. Tell your stylist to go find somebody to compete. Because by the time you get on the internet and you look on social media, you're actually late. You're behind the 8 ball by the time you're talking about social media, because those people who are like million followers or whatever, they did it before the algorithm became against all of us, right? So you have to realize that when you're looking at people on the internet, there's a chance that might not really be their work.
Yeah.
That is a thing that has happened. Like, there's so much, because how do you know that that's not her work?
You don't.
You don't know. But I bet you if you could go Google that person and they got a standing business that somebody could write a Yelp or a Google review, even if the Google review, I don't trust them that much either. At least you know that there's a real business there. And the name of the person
you can't trust are the ones that are like 2 paragraphs. Those are sus to me.
Really?
Yeah.
The 2 paragraph ones?
The 2 negative paragraphs. You know, like when you have 2 good paragraphs and you got a 5-star review, you're like, yeah, this person is legit. But if you have the time to write a 3-page, 2 to 3 paragraphs, that's all negativity, there's something wrong.
Oh,
but
no, it's your feelings that are hurt.
Yeah, your feelings are hurt.
Your feelings are hurt. Yeah, it's not always about the right thing.
Yeah.
But back to the suites, right? And something that they did say at the camp was you realize that all the hairstyles look alike because you're only doing this thing. Yeah. Like Sasha touched on it earlier. In our salon, right, there's somebody who specializes in braids. There's somebody who specializes in extensions. We have people who specialize in silk presses. We have people who specialize in locks. So even though we're not all doing the same thing, we're all feeding off of each other. Okay. When you are in a box by yourself and you're coming and going every day and everybody is booking the same thing, you are not going to go get any education because in your mind, oh, I got it all figured out. I don't need to keep elevating myself. This is what's working for me right now, so I'm good with this. You're stuck. I feel like you get stuck in a bubble.
But then don't you want to be your own boss? Isn't that what it's all about? But
what is being your own boss?
Paying taxes. That's what being your own boss is. Like a lot of times I realized this, my nail tech, she has been doing nails for a long time. She is a little bit older. She is okay with being established and she's actually doing her own thing. But she was talking about the suite across from her. And I have seen the business card. Mind you, I've never seen anyone in that actual suite. But I done seen the business card at the suite change multiple times. And she was just talking about the number of people who have come in and out of that suite.
Right. Because they're not educated. They're thinking, I'm going to pay a little bit more money, right, for this space.
Yeah.
But they do not know all that comes with it, apart from I'm going to go be my own boss, which is why I asked the question what I just asked. What is being your own boss? You said a great thing, paying taxes. What else comes with being your own boss?
We did an episode on that season 1. Yeah. Yeah, it's the truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can't touch on everything today, but it is not a cut paper situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called getting a bookkeeper, getting a lawyer.
And I was going to say, if you really knew what it took, you probably wouldn't even want to be it. Honestly.
Right. Or
because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. You have to really have a love and passion for what you do. And that's the only way I feel like you're going to have longevity in this industry and you're going to be really successful. You got to love it. You got to wake up every day and absolutely love it.
And I think even with new school and old school, I think if someone has a true love and passion for it, there will be a desire to have good customer service,
Yes.
but also a desire to have the appropriate boundaries necessary to do the job
Right.
and love the job. Because what I also have seen is you have people who love the job and they get weighed down by the job.
Yes, because it's too much.
It's too much.
You have to wear too many hats.
And that could be in any industry, but then
Correct.
that goes back to setting those boundaries. In
Exactly.
any industry, you're going to have to set those boundaries. No, I cannot take this call right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm so sorry. We're jam-packed. Hopefully we'll be able to service you next time. And that's it.
I would ask, and I'm going to do an ask on both sides. I would ask clients, and because majority of our clients or the majority of the people who would watch this are most likely African-American women, I need you to start seeing stylists as a business professional, not as a last-minute resource. I think that your overall life would be better if you treated that person who you will see more than you will see your doctor.
Correct.
If you stay
You're
healthy.
coming to me monthly.
Right? You come into me every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month. You will have just an overall, just an improvement in life.
Yeah.
And then from a stylist perspective, step up to the plate of being customer service driven with boundaries.
Yes.
But also, I think that whether you are a licensed or unlicensed hair provider, whatever it is, step up to the plate of offering good customer service. You know, and I know we don't always have good days, and I have a much sharper tongue than Crystal does when dealing with people. But it's just like, I think that majority of my clients will say that I try to provide a good atmosphere and vibe overall at the salon, and you know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
just like, it's so sad to just hear the horror stories from clients and I mean, even from stylists about their overall experience in our industry.
Yeah, it really is. Hopefully we'll get to a space where, like Crystal said, we can be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
We can still keep that, the values and the things we learned in that old school era. And then we could still take a few things from the new school and mesh it
together.
Mesh it together for sure.
Yeah.
Sasha, talk to me. Tell me about the comment sections because it's very strange.
Okay, so
It's a
around this
strange
time, right? So around this time of the year, they do a lot of it's New York Fashion Week. So it'll be a lot of the fall collections and things of that nature. And so maybe a couple of weeks ago, I saw someone send out a PSA about, hey, y'all that are out here doing natural hair or doing ethnic hair, here are some suggestions. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cute. Okay, that's really nice. But then there's been video after video of Black models, these beautiful women who have natural hair, and they are showing you how these people who are what they call 2520, y'all 2520 YT, y'all can go look that up. Who
Woo-woo.
don't know anything about how to do natural hair. So let me tell y'all something that is extremely sad and devastating about hair school. They don't teach you about Black hair. I think most recently they started having books about Black hair.
braiding.
All of our education is about white hair. So to be honest, a lot of these fashion shows should have plenty of Black stylists because we're taught to do white hair.
Yeah.
White people are not taught how to do Black hair.
Correct.
So they can go through their whole career and never have to worry about dealing with Black hair.
Right.
Most of us, even those who decide to go do more majority hair or whatever, we still have to learn Black hair because that's what's growing on our own head, right? They will know nothing about it. So let me tell you about this. This model is a video of her on Instagram, and she is literally getting her hair done. And you see the two hands, and instead of them, like
They're so
she's
wrong.
supposed to be getting her hair slicked into it. Let me turn this down. Yeah.
Her face kills me though.
You're right. So she's showing you the type of hair that they had, the 3x. Instead of like combing her hair out, they're like pulling it apart.
goodness.
There is no water.
hard to
There
look
is
at.
no, they're
No
trying to
moisturizer.
comb out her hair with like a barber size comb with it. And I was like, baby, you gotta go get you a detangle brush. Cause I know I can lay this down.
Right.
right? So then she also shows you a picture of what the style is supposed to be.
It's supposed to look like.
Right. It's a slick back pony with like a wide, what is it? A wide cover on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they show you the end result.
It's hard to watch. It is hard to watch.
There's at least two ways that this could have been done. We could have did it the gel way, where we gelled that thing on up, or you could have blow dried it out.
Okay.
Quick flat iron.
Yeah.
Edges.
Do the edges.
Slick it back.
Slick it back and let's go.
Yeah.
What is that?
The fact that we are hairstylists who have done both kinds, we know how to. Because I was like, I could do the white girl hair, and I could have did this girl hair.
So what did the people have to say about this young lady? Because
Girl.
it's
Let me tell
it's
you.
a tough watch for me.
So it's some
turn
things
it
that are.
down.
Oh, sorry. There are some things on here that are funny, and then some things on here that are just like, yo, what's the deal? So it's weaponized incompetence for me. They could have YouTubed how to do a slick ponytail on coily hair. But anyway, and then, they say Happy Black History Month or whatever, because I found this a while ago. How can anyone call themselves a professional when they can't do half the stuff? And what in the capitalist is stopping these hair designers, dressers from learning all the hair? You can't call yourself a professional if you can't do all hair types or skin tones. I said what I said, and trust me,
That's right.
the same
word
people who
right
are
there.
complaining about hair become complaining about their makeup artists too, who don't have a full range of palettes in your bag, but you get to go to the New York Fashion Week, right? But then y'all want to talk about fairness. Yeah, but then something that was very interesting, which I have a mixed feeling and I would love to have your opinion. I would never go to a show with no hair and makeup, call myself and call up with my natural hair. I think she didn't write this right. Do it yourself. And I used to sit and cringe. Now I speak up and instruct. Been sad too many times. Do you think it's fair to blame the model?
No, why would she need to get her hair done before? That's not her job. Her job is to show up and model. And she used to be dressed to do so, and that's from head to foot.
I understand that.
No.
Totally understand that. But you have to this is all I'm gonna say is this. If you know that you're a Black woman and you have a particular texture hair or skin tone or whatever the case may be, and you've been modeling for some time and you've had several bad experiences, I think after a while you do start to feel like, well, I love what I do, but I don't love the turnout. I don't love how I look. This isn't me. So let me figure out how to do it myself, or let me because I've had models contact me and be like, hey, I have a shoot. Can you do X, Y, and Z before I get on set? I asked the designer, or I've asked the photographer, whoever, can I get my own person? And they were like, yeah, as long as you look like this.
Right.
And that's what they do. Because at the end of the day, this is this person's career too. So yeah, I don't feel like I should go in there being done up, but at the same time, I'm still trying to build my career and I want to get more opportunities, but not looking like that. I'm not.
I mean, there was last season, New York Fashion Week, they show how they would have like the other models and how their hair would be done. And then you would see a Black model and her hair would be just in cornrows.
Right.
And you would be like, wait, her hair don't look like nobody else's. Because they would find the most random people. They have had makeup artists have to do people's hair because that would be the only Black person in the room. And she would be the only one who would know what to do. And of course, it's some thrown together cornrows in somebody's head. And the woman is beautiful. She's a human hanger. So she's super skinny or whatever. But
not the human hanger. What? I've never even heard of that before.
I've never heard that in my life. But okay.
The reason why most models previously used to be very slender is if you're trying to sell clothes, the whole point is it's not about necessarily accentuating a woman's body. It's about showing off my clothes. It's artwork.
Okay.
I mean, now they're doing better, and I'm glad that there's more inclusion.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they want to show off their clothes. I made clothes. I didn't make a person. Like if you really think about it, I'm sorry that I sound harsh. Y'all don't leave me alone.
It's a new thing. Sorry.
Right. So another woman said, she did right. Unless I'm getting paid their wages also for doing my own hair, I will sit as well and let them do what they said they were capable of doing. Lies on resume. But I don't even think these people lied on their resume. The people who planned the whole thing just doesn't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
Or what y'all could do is pay the black models a little extra and be like, hey, make sure your hair is prepped for this hairstyle.
Right.
Let me give you an extra $100 so you can go get it.
On this.
Why? What is it? What's your thoughts?
It's not adding up to me.
Okay, why?
The math isn't math.
No, the math isn't math, and y'all know
You like some
I
math.
like for the math to math.
Yeah. So what's not mathing, Krista?
Why is it that we are having a fashion show, but we're not fully equipped
I absolutely
to-
agree with that. I
to
agree.
execute on the level that we need to execute?
You're
You
right.
know who you're hiring, right?
Mhm.
You should say, okay, come with your hair at least pressed. Come with, if you're not okay with your hair not being in its natural state, there has to be more being done here. And I don't understand why this happens so often. You
It
know who
does.
you're casting. So you should make sure that you have the professionals to take care of said cast members that you've hired.
Well, then they're just trying to get hair done fast. So if you need a full,
But-
like if they're giving you a hairstyle where that person's hair has to be straight, nobody has time to press somebody's hair. Even as a black
Correct. That's
stylist,
why you should tell them to come with their hair pressed so it could be slicked
And
back
that's-
into the ponytail.
right? And that's why my
That
whole
math
point
with
is-
math.
right? And that's why they should math them an extra $75 to $100 on their fees.
Listen.
So, so their hair
Okay.
slick,
Listen, guys.
slick backable. Slick backable.
This is one of those the slick backable. This is one of those topics that I mean we could talk about.
Yeah.
For
We can make a whole other show about
days
it.
because we see it so many times in our industry. Sasha, thank you for sharing that. What's in the comments, you guys? I think today's episode was a really good one. It taught. I mean, I feel like I learned some things. The human hanger.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you. No, but it was great to really discuss, our industry and just the way that things are always changing and always evolving.
Absolutely.
So we gotta make sure that we stay up.
Yeah.
We stay up, man. Ladies, always a good one. And we are kind of matching.
Guys,
I
we
guess
do
that
not do
was-
this on purpose.
That
We
was
just show
a
up.
thing.
Trust me, this was not on purpose for me.
That's-
Okay. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Tell the people the truth.
Oh my goodness. Everyone, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us
Share.
on social
Join our
media,
family.
join our community, join our family. We having a good time over here. I hope y'all are having a good time too. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.